Hey, party people. Today I'm going to critique 4 portfolios. I am critiquing these in no particular order. Links to the portfolios are in the description box below if you want to check them out on your own. Links to all my other portfolio critique videos are also in the description box. First up is Ricame. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. All right. So homepage, nice illustrations, name, nav bar, illustrations. So we have a bunch of fashion illustrations, some with backdrops, some without, and you just click on them and you can see them slightly bigger. I do wish that you could see the images a little bit bigger, but I do like the illustrations. They're cool. They have a very beautiful, loose, expressive line and enough information to express the designs, with some clarifications for flats. Like this one, the design is pretty clear, but then you do have the flats to clarify even further. Okay. The anatomy shapes do need some work, but the proportions look good. The flats need work. More on that in a second. So on the designs page, first we have a bunch of photos, and then we have some flats pages. First of all, these designs, they're kind of random. Like they're paged together. I don't know if they're supposed to be a collection or not, or if it is a collection, what's the theme or anything. So since there's no information, there's really no basis for critique. From the standpoint of someone who's coming along to just look, these designs look costumey. They look like deconstructed princess dresses. And I'm not sure what the market is for that. There's not really a clear, distinct point of view because you have this more modern style here. You have this tutu dress here. This is kind of in between the two in terms of aesthetic and category. I'm a little bit lost with a lot of these designs. And then you have these pages, and it looks like it's supposed to be a line sheet or part of a tech pack or intro page to a tech pack. I have a lot of problems with these. First of all, your flats are not good. They need a lot of work. And there are no backs. Back view is key. And in the areas here and here where you see the back of the garment, that's not accurate. That's really not how your back neck sits at all. Okay? And all of this, like, why have it there if it's not filled out? Everything looks incomplete with these empty charts and no back flats. The trousers are like a really weird shape from like the late 90s. And knit cardigans would not have these sharp corners at the waist. And there are no buttonholes. Okay. However, these designs show more of a point of view. There's an actual market for these. And many of you at home may be saying, but Zoe, these are boring. They're basic, but there's a market for basics. And if you look closely, there are some cute details. Like here, your little sailor front shorts, and then you have the stitching on the vest. There are some cute details. And when recruiters are looking between costumey and subtle detail basics, you think about where they're gonna lean towards. Okay. You have a styling section, you have editorials, and you have e-commerce and these are nice and clean. First of all, you need more work. One of the things overall about this portfolio is, other than the illustrations, it has no point of view. I'm not scrolling through all the designs and seeing where this designer is coming from. And when a recruiter or a designer who's looking at your portfolio and thinking to work with you, if they cannot see your point of view, if they cannot see who you are as a designer overall, then they can't fit you in their business. They don't know how to place you in your company, which means you're going to lose out on that job. If you want more styling work, you need to show more work, and you need to credit your photographers and your models and everybody. Usually I get these portfolios and there's like an essay for the about me. Here it's really short, but it could use some more information talking about your skill set, at least a link to a resume, whether it's a PDF or a link to your LinkedIn page, something like that. With this portfolio, I can see you getting illustration work like the most easily, because the illustrations, you have a distinct style. People will know what they're going to get from you when they order illustrations from you. All right, next up is Dominique, and you can tell she has evening wear and cocktail and bridal kind of focused portfolio, and she made these fun little videos. By little, I mean they're short, much shorter than mine. They're like a minute and 20 seconds long. And they're like time lapse of her working. It's just like, hey, I do this cool stuff. Yeah. So let's go to her portfolio page. Overall, I do wish that you could click on the images and get a bigger image on some of these. I really love this project. I love this whole thing where you're seeing textures in the fabric and images, and you've got this beautiful, amazing color story and fabric board, and you kind of are getting a mood, you know, with the expression on her face and the kind of the lighting here and the colors chosen. Here are her garment illustrations that are a little bit fun, and, you know, a little blurb about how she came about this project idea. And then she has her flats. This is definitely a page I wish I could see bigger so I could really examine the flats. And then she has process shots. Here's the thing about process shots. She has video, she has flats, close up, and she has all these snapshots of her work, and I love it. I don't always love process shots, but I love process shots when it's within the context of looking at the whole project and you get to see finished or almost finished works. So you're seeing the muslin, but you're also seeing the result. That whole impressive, I'm showing you my skills sort of thing. The garments are beautiful. They look really well made. You know, sketches, videos is really complete and fun, and it shows a lot of skills, and I enjoy that a lot. Now, this is the company I think she works at now, according to her resume, Public Thread, and they are making these purses. She has these nice flats. They look great. A little bit blurb about the company. Very cool. And then you have a bunch of textile design stuff. Very pretty. I'm enjoying it. And then you have this work that you did for Marchesa. And I think that this should go higher up on your portfolio. I think this should come right after your coping project. Like coping, I love. It's very complete, has all of the things. Like I've mentioned this in a portfolio video before. But you should have multiple projects in your portfolio, and only one or two of them need to be super elaborate and have all the parts. And then the other projects that you have can be like snippets, but you need one or two to show that you have the broad skill set and you can do a fully fleshed out project. Something like this, where this is more about work experience, and I'm not going to be like, where are your flats? Because this, he probably didn't have her do flats if they have her doing textile design. But this is a well-known brand. This is something to brag about, and so I would have put this on second. She has a distinct point of view. You can tell all the things kind of, you know, come together. They belong to the same designer, except for the Public Thread. Okay, this one is a little bit, I mean, it could be because it's a different item category, but even then, it's like, it's really different from everything else. Here is the resume. In terms of your experience, what you need to be doing, because you have, here's Public Thread, here's Marchesa, here's Mood Fabrics, here's something else you did for Marchesa, And then here's another thing you did for a public threat. You know, when you have these kinds of instances where you go back to a company or you switch roles at a company, it's easier to read when you have one heading and then you have, I was vice president for this period of time, and I was an intern for this period of time. And you can put all the roles in order and show people that you stayed at a company for a long period of time and you kept getting promoted. That looks nice instead of this like, so she was here and then she was here and then she was here. Did she get fired? What happened here? Like, it's just cleaner to read just to have it under one company heading. Illustrations, they're nice. Whatever, I have no changes to make here. And then construction, and the construction is nice. And again, I do wish we could blow up these photos so we could look a little bit closer. That would have been nice to see some more of the details and everything in your craftsmanship. I think that you should include garment design in your skills list. And this product development, I mean, what does that mean to you? Does that mean, we all know that you can create garments, you can construct garments, but do you know how to put together a tech pack? Make sure everyone knows all the things that you're capable of doing. And then your Instagram is beautiful. Your LinkedIn is fine. Press is always more credible when you post screenshots of the article and then with the headline or with, something that shows where it's from. All those things are far more credible than just more photos of your dresses. And your blog is fine. It's pretty. It's got some nice images. And then your contact page. I like that you have an email so that people can use it if they don't like using a contact form. All those good things. Okay. This is Shawn Bobbi's website. She's a textile designer, surface designer. This is her homepage, and she has her kind of about me. I would do a rewrite. It doesn't really convey passion. It's like it says, I pursued this because its ability to be applied across many fields. And that just makes it seem like I wanted to do something creative but safe. And that might be true, but maybe, show a little bit more of why you love textile and surface design, This paragraph is okay. It lists your skills. This should be more prominent because this is your favorite. This is really what you are into, and that shows a little bit more of your passion work. If you go through all of this work, she has so much work on here. This is a good example of a designer who has a point of view, but also is able to create a variety of looks within kind of a general aesthetic. People can see where she's coming from. She typically doesn't have a lot of harsh color stories. Like this one is really bold. But when you think of London, you do think of red, white, and blue and black. That makes a lot of sense. But she does a lot of botanicals. She does a lot of florals. She does a lot of kind of more harmonious color stories like this and in here and here. But they're all really different from each other. And then you click and you see here's her inspiration page. And then here are all the textile designs that she created. It's freaking cool. There's a lot of work. And then she has thumbnails again, so you don't have to keep clicking back to the home page, which is nice. Here's what I wish you would do is with each caption, just be really explicit. Have some info. Some do, some don't. I would love some clear labels where you're like, this is my inspiration, this is my work, and this was done, in this way, so that you're constantly showing like I can do this and I can do that and I can do that by telling each person how you did each project and what level of completion. Because I know sometimes you've like woven stuff on a loom and sometimes you only did the print development in Illustrator, which is fine. You have like a whole variety, but you should show that you have all these skills. I did this in Illustrator. I wove this on a loom while standing upside down. I hand painted this on an existing fabric, holding the brush in my teeth. My inspiration was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, so something real clear, really explicit. These do not have to be poetic essays. My favorite things are here, where you have draped the pattern onto cushions, onto furniture, and there was one where you had draped it on clothing. I forget which. You have so much work, but you had put it on some figure illustrations. And I wish you had more of that, because people can visualize much more easily when you help them in that way. It's like, don't you think my fabric would look amazing as a shift dress, as a cushion, as a blankie for your baby? Like, if you want to add something to your portfolio, instead of adding more projects, I would flesh them out in this way. For your contact page, I would have some social media, maybe a LinkedIn link or another kind of link to your resume. Post your email maybe. Not everyone likes to use these forms. Okay? But it's a simple site, but it totally works. Good job. Last is blank sky. The homepage is nice, even though a couple of the photos are out of focus. You have these nice photos of your work. They don't change so fast that it makes your eyes hurt. With projects, I hate it when people misuse the word couture. So, if you're going to use that word, show or tell me all of the couture techniques you used. I want you to prove that it's actual couture. Couture doesn't mean handmade. Part of couture is the fact that it's handmade, but there's much more to that. I'm not saying this is not couture, just to be clear. I'm saying I want proof of that, because people misuse the word all the time. Art print dress. So I do like these photos. I like how you have multiple views. They're very clean and clear, so you can see the design. I like that. I do like the images. Nice, clean photographs. You need to credit your photographer and your model and etc. And I enjoyed this group of designs. I think it's a nice balance of variety and showing off your style. You show that you enjoy interesting cuts and silhouettes, beautiful drape without being too fussy. Like, you've got a dash of minimalism in every piece. Draping projects. This would only work as a cool thing if you showed me the end result dress. It says denim dress, but where's the denim dress? You didn't even have it here. Like, maybe I could go back and look at the denim dress, but you didn't have that. This is just filler. Like, I know how to drape. Well, that's fine. You could have just said that you draped all these other finished garments. So here are your flats and your illustrations. Okay, first of all, your flats are not professional. They're crooked, they're not well drawn, and they don't clarify design any more than your figure sketches. The whole point of flats is to accurately show the garment construction and all the design details. Okay, with figure illustration, you could be a little bit looser and a little loosey-goosey about the details and just make it look nice. And the point of figure illustrations is for the garment to look enticing on a body, and then the flats are supposed to be crystal clear as to where the zipper is and how the ties are and where the darts are and things like that. But you don't show that in your flats. Your figures aren't great either, but it's more important that your flats be great. And the clothes are not the same as your flats. Like, where's this? You just have the flat of these and the flat of this. And then what is this? Is it that? The back of that, but there's no flats for any of this? Okay. Every garment on a figure needs to be also a flat. And I can't tell whether this is supposed to be this or not, because those are the only garments here. Like, this is the skirt from the other page, but it's too different. Like, look at the proportions of the sleeves on this compared to this, and then the seam and the neckline. So I don't know if it's supposed to be the same. I want to reiterate, it's not about my style preferences for illustration or what I consider to be pretty. It's about clear design communication. And if people are confused as to what is what and how things are made and what the garment is going to look like, that's not good design communication. Also, where are your fabrics? So again, a lot more just images of other products where you kind of lifted design details. Your illustrations don't match up with your flats. You have these flats for these garments, which are not these garments. And that is confusing to me when I'm trying to look at this as a whole project together. Also, where are your back flats? And again, you have a color story. Where are your fabrics? Understanding a fabric and how it affects design is so important. You need to be explicit about your materials. You need to label everything. You need to show that you have a good understanding of fabric as it pertains to your final design. And then again, without flats, without fabrics, I mean, again, not every project has to be super elaborate, but none of these projects are complete. Okay? None of the projects here have the inspiration and the fabric board and a complete set of figures and a complete set of flats. Which I guess, since they say it's just flats and illustrations, truth in advertising. But if you're trying to get a design job, this is not going to help you get a design job. It's like, oh, you have some cool ideas. Do you know how to execute any of them? These are cool. Print design. And these are fashion illustrations, and these are better than the ones in your other projects. So now that I know you can do it, I would like to see you do better figure illustrations for your design projects. You should have your resume somewhere, a link to your LinkedIn, some more information, kind of telling people about who you are, what skills you have, and freelance opportunities and other collaborations for what? What are you looking for? Like, I want to drape muslin for a company and do first patterns. I want to be a fashion designer. I want to be an illustrator. Just a little bit more. Okay? I hope you all gleaned something helpful from this video. Do let me know in the comments if you want more portfolio critique videos. And if you want to submit your portfolio for video critique, check out the description box for instructions. I do not critique work that is not for video. You can hire me hourly for kind of consultation work if you like. Go ahead and email me at teaching@zoehong.com for that. Please give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new today or if you found this video entertaining. Share, subscribe, all those lovely things. Check out zoehong.com to sign up for my newsletter. And if you're looking for product recommendations, go check out my Amazon shop. I make a little money from their shop, but the prices remain the same for you. Links are in the description box, as well as links to the rest of my social media, related videos, all that good stuff. And as always, I urge you not to be discouraged if you are not at this level, or if I leveled some critique on somebody that is similar to your work, or if you're watching your own critique and you're feeling a little bit raw. If you don't get it right away, don't be discouraged. Watch this video again, take notes, and practice. Hashtag always be practicing. Hashtag practice not magic. If your first one sucks, you're right on track. Go practice, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.